Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and today we are doing a Game Week 20 team selection video. I know the game weeks are really close together right now, so this is going to be my only video for this game week. It's also my brother's birthday today and my birthday tomorrow on the 28th, so not enough time to do too many videos at the moment, even if I did have a little bit more free time. But yeah, hopefully this is going to be good enough for you guys, and obviously we'll still do a deadline stream before the Game Week 20 deadline. Just wanted to give you a quick update there, but guys, if you do enjoy this video, please do leave a like, and if you really enjoy this video and you haven't done already, please do subscribe as well. But without further ado, let's have a look at how I got on in Game Week 19 so far. So yes, I say so far because as I record this video at 5 PM on the Monday of the 27th, the game week hasn't finished yet. We've still got Manchester United and Newcastle to play. By the time you watch this video, that game will probably have at least kicked off. So what you see right here is things as it stand. Obviously 60 points with a non-free hit team. Really thrilled to bits by that. Old rank was 202nd. I have gone up to 100th in the world as of this exact moment, obviously. We've got Ronaldo to play. That's going to be the big one, really, isn't it? Ronaldo's still to play. A lot of people do have Ronaldo. A lot of people have him captain. So, you know, he gets a good score. And I'm probably going to be knocked that back down to 200th, 300th, 400th. You know, you never know how many ranks I could drop down with that. But the aim this week was to survive, really. I didn't feel like my team was bad enough to go without a free hit. I know a lot of people sort of, you know, by looking at the kind of top few hundred players, the top 1,000 players maybe, about half of people have free hitted. So really all I'm trying to do is survive this game week whilst they use their free hit and then go back on the offensive in a few game weeks time where I'm going to be activating my free hit, you know, in game week 22 which I think is going to be so much more effective. So what I wanted to do here is survive. I wanted to survive this game week, and then we're going to use our free hit in game week 22, and then we're going to have one more free hit to use right at the end of the season when we've got some more double game weeks over there as well. So really exciting stuff, to be honest. I feel like even if Ronaldo was to get a good score right now, I'm not going to realistically drop out of the top 1,000, I don't think, and that was the aim, to stay within the top 1,000, and then we're going to really make some ground again, and hopefully punish the people who went for a free hit around my rank later down the line. That's kind of the plan. And so far, I think the plan seems to be working. So yeah, lots of good scores. Sterling coming in clutch. Really happy about that. It's always nice when a differential pays off, isn't it? Son captain has worked so far. I don't know if Ronaldo will outscore him or not. Very could easily do that. But so far, so good, guys. Really happy. And you know, even if I do drop to, you know, 500th or 600th or something like that, I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with how this game week's gone, and I'm ready to go back on offensive. I'm ready to start formulating some plans going forward. I've already got so many ideas of where I want to go from here, and I'm pretty confident. Which is a really good. It's a good situation to be in. So yeah, that's how I got in game week 19. Let's have a look and see how I'm gonna set up for game week 20, because there's a few fixture cancellations you guys probably know about. A few rescheduled fixtures already. Let's see what we can do. So here we go, guys. One free transfer, 3.5 in the bank. So we've got quite a lot of room to maneuver, I suppose, in terms of our bank budget. Let's show you how we're going to set up today. And we're going to start off in goal with Aaron Ramsdale. Obviously doesn't have a fixture, so, you know, there's no Arsenal fixture. But my backup goalkeeper is Foster, who is injured. So it's kind of like no fixture or no fixture. Basically what I'm saying, guys, is I'm without a goalkeeper this game week as things stand. So yeah, a little bit of a concern there, but maybe we can think about addressing that with our transfers. We're going to talk about that a little bit and what the best move is. Is it worth going for a goalkeeper transfer or not? I'll talk about that when we get to the transfers part of this video. We'll go into defence. We've got Trent Alexander-Arnold. Really happy to have some Liverpool players back in my team. Really pleased with that. Leicester, I think, is going to be a really good fixture for Trent. So I'm kind of thinking, you know, although Leicester seem to be quite good at scoring goals, are they going to be able to keep a clean sheet? No. Liverpool are going to go there and they're going to score some goals. Liverpool players are going to be pretty darn essential, I would say, this game week. And you know, maybe not so much beyond that, but certainly this Leicester game is a really good game to target with your Liverpool attackers. And although Trent is a defender, he's really a Liverpool he's really a Liverpool attacker, really, in everything else that he does, other than the fact that he picks up those clean sheet points if Liverpool are to keep a clean sheet. So yeah, serious captain consideration for Trent as well. But again, we'll talk about that later. We've got Cancelo against Brentford. And you know, he got an attacking return. He got his assist, didn't he, last game week? But we would have liked to see a clean sheet in that Leicester game. But as I say, Leicester are a good team in attack, but they just can't defend, and that's kind of what we saw with Man City. It would have been nice to see Cancelo involved in a few more goals, but it wasn't to be. But we have got this Brentford team next, who are really struggling for goals at the moment. Brentford are they're not looking too good at the moment. Especially even after that loss to Brighton, it kind of shows where Brentford are kind of at the moment, and they're perhaps not as encouraging as we kind of thought at the beginning of the season. So the form that Man City are in and the form that Brentford are in, we can be probably pretty confident that Cancelo is going to get a decent score there. So, yeah, kind of looking forward to seeing what he can produce. We've got Rhys James next. Brighton at home. I know he had that terrible howler own goal in the last game, but it's one of those things. These things happen. I don't want to say it was a freak accident. I didn't think James's defending in that situation was fantastic, but it certainly wasn't. It's one of those things when it bounces off his head and goes into the back of the net. Now, maybe the goalkeeper could have done a little bit better as well, but who knows? It's one of those things. I'm certainly not going to take that as an indication that Rhys James is a bad player now, but it is kind of funny that he's picked up yet another 0-pointer to add to the rest of his 0-pointers he's got since he was really in form. But never mind. Brighton at home is a really good fixture for any defence. Although we're not massively confident on Chelsea's defence right now, you kind of feel like this is the kind of game where they could get a clean sheet. Similar to the Wolves game we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. Looked like a game, if Chelsea are going to get a clean sheet, this is going to be, no matter how bad the form of any team is, if they're going to get a clean sheet, it's going to come against these kind of teams, your Brightons, your Brentfords, your Wolves, that kind of team. Those kind of teams that are kind of struggling for goals a little bit at the moment. I know they scored a couple. I know Brighton scored a couple against Brentford, but they're not exactly an elite level goal scoring team, typically speaking, are they, guys? And that's why we're going to double up with Alonso, who has been outscoring James a little bit recently, hasn't he? And yeah, Alonso's doing pretty well. But yeah, we've got the double Chelsea defence as things stand. I mean, as you guys know, I'm not massively keen on having double Chelsea defence, and I am going to try and switch that up as soon as possible. But quite frankly, at the last few weeks, there's just been bigger fires to put out. And although it's not great having a double Chelsea defence, when you really look at it and you think, well, it could be worse. I could only have like 10 available players or something like that. I could have 9 available players. It's better to have players. And, you know that players like James and Alonso, you may not know which one it's going to be, but you know that both of these players have potential to get FPL points. Hopefully they're both fit and ready to go for this game in a couple of days. These games are coming very, very quickly. But hopefully they're going to be okay to play some more, and we'll all be good in the hood there. I mean, it's not like we can just use free hits every week to resolve our problems. I think we can survive on with the double Chelsea defence, even if it isn't ideal. In midfield, we have got Raheem Sterling as our most premium midfielder. So guys, don't get me wrong. The fact that I haven't got Salah does worry me. I think, although I can say I survived game week 19 without using a free hit, the one caveat always was, it's not just about game week 19, can you also survive in game week 20 without Salah? And that's yet to be, we don't know that yet. People who sold Salah, myself included, we may be severely punished in game week 20, and I'd be really interested to see what Salah's effective ownership is in game week 20, to be fair, because I'm sure a lot of people didn't sell him, even if they didn't free hit. So who knows? Who knows what happens there? But yeah, basically, in terms of no Salah, it's worrying this week. But after that, I'm not worried anymore. Obviously, Chelsea's the next game for Liverpool, and after that, we're talking about him missing 2-3 games through AFCON anyway. So you wouldn't want that money sitting on your bench. So yeah. Basically, this is the survival week on Salah. But anyway, I'll stop talking about Salah because we're meant to be talking about Sterling. Phenomenal performance in the game against Leicester. 2 goals, absolutely fantastic. Very, very pleased with Sterling as a pick. His underlying stats look good. He looked like he was in a good form and just playing really well at the moment. The concern, obviously, is he going to be playing again? A 3rd successive game in a row. We do know that he rotates a little bit. We have seen Sterling already go on, 4-game streaks, 5-game streaks of starting every single game. So it's very, very possible. But it's just a case of our Foden, our Grealish going to come back into this team. And if they do, who are they going to be replacing? Maybe Mahrez is going to be the player to actually drop out because Sterling, his form is just... I just think he's been playing really well. You could arguably say a similar thing about Mahrez, to be fair, but no, I think Sterling is making a very good case to not be dropped at the moment, and yeah, I'm very pleased with him, and I'm going to roll the dice as you do every week. These are kind of risky players, the kind of players I like to have in my team to spice up my team a little bit, having those risky players that really can help you if it goes right. Certainly that's what happened last game week. The game week before as well, he scored. So, can we make it 3 game weeks in a row that Sterling is going to be an absolute hero of my team? I hope so. We've got Heung-min Son here as well. Obviously, he got that goal in the last game, against Crystal Palace. Southampton away next. Southampton are definitely a team that can concede a couple of goals. So, hopefully Spurs can go there and again put in a good performance. Son got taken off early, as did Harry Kane. So both Son and Kane, we're expecting them to start. At least a little bit rested and ready to go, ready for this next big game. And again, we're hoping for big performances from some of our Spurs attackers, aren't we? How about that Lucas as well? He's doing really well. Seems like a really crucial player under Conte. But certainly Son is the player I'm most excited about from this Spurs team, so we are going to continue with him indeed. We've got Jota. This is going to be, I guess, my contingency plan for not having Salah. I do really like Jota. He seems to be getting scoring goals for fun. Really, he just gets so many opportunities to score, and when you get that many opportunities, you do score them. I have minor concerns that he might get rotated or rested, but at the same time, I'm thinking, can you drop a player who is performing? I don't know. It's just working well, isn't it, at the moment with Jota, leading the line for Liverpool. Liverpool doing really well. Jota's a big part of that. So yeah, I think Jota should start in theory. But there's always that little bit in the back of your mind. Is Firmino going to start? Maybe we'll try and figure out some rumours and stuff like that closer to the deadline. But yeah, looking forward to this game against Leicester because, like I say, Leicester are just tragic in defence. So bad defensively at the moment. We just do expect our Liverpool players to go into this game and score some goals, which is why I am worried in many ways about not owning Salah, because if I did, I'd be starting him, I'd be captaining him, and I'd be really confident about that one. But it's not an option within my own current game plan. But, these risky game plans, I like them. It makes it all fun, doesn't it? We'll finish off the midfield with Bowen against Watford. Now, Bowen did get an assist, in the last game. The game before that in the League Cup, Bowen got a goal. We saw Bowen playing as a striker as well the last couple of games. So really positive signs, I think, from Bowen. I know a lot of people are not fully confident about Bowen, but we look at this fixture, Watford away. I don't think that's so bad. I don't think that's such a bad fixture. We've seen Watford been consistently one of the worst defences in the Premier League this season. So although Watford still haven't even played a game in what feels like forever, so are they going to be a little bit rusty? West Ham are going to come in and show them who's boss a little bit. Hopefully Bowen still does start and does the business there. And speaking of our West Ham players, how about Antonio up front? Now, he did only play half a game, didn't he? Not even. So Antonio is rested, so we really do expect him to start. And you know what? I think Antonio is even a potential captain shout, particularly as he has got a goal now. Finally, he has broken his duck. And what we often see with strikers is they do go through periods of not scoring many goals, and then we see them go through other periods where they score loads of goals and they become confident and prolific and all that. Antonio has also shown in the past that he can be a very streaky player. Last couple of seasons in particular, we've seen Antonio go on absolute mad ones and then kind of fade out and score one in 5, but then he'll go on a mad one and score a goal every game. We saw it at the beginning of the season, didn't we, him going on a little streak. So hopefully, I'm really hoping that this is the start of another Michail Antonio streak. That would be nice, wouldn't it, guys? Especially in these nice, easy fixtures coming up. And we're going to finish off the starting 11 with Emmanuel Dennis, who actually has not played a single game for me since I bought him like 3 game weeks ago because of all of these games getting called off. Watford games getting called off due to COVID. So crazy that Dennis still hasn't played a game for me, but we're going to give him his debut. We're going to give him his BSKA Moscow debut. So he's going to come in a home game against West Ham, which actually I was a little bit worried about this game. I wasn't too confident that I would even play Dennis in this game, but as it's turned out, with some Arsenal players unavailable, and also the fact that the West Ham are actually conceding a few goals at the moment. They are, West Ham are a strange team. They go on these really nice streaks and they just start losing a bunch of games in a row. It seems like when West Ham lose one game, they lose 4 games, kind of thing. And if anyone's going to score against them, Dennis is a pretty good shout. And when we saw West Ham concede 3 goals yesterday, my eyes immediately lit up and I thought, oh, hang on, Dennis is going to be playing against West Ham next game. hang on, what's going to go on here? Can Dennis finally make his debut for me and actually make it worthwhile the -4 I took for him all those many weeks ago? Who knows? I mean, I'm hopeful at least. So maybe a few of you guys are in a similar situation where you're really happy to have Dennis back for this game and maybe feeling a little bit more confident than you did before. And then on the bench, guys, we've got Foster injured. We've got Broja, who's, to be fair, if we're talking about there's going to be a little bit of rotation this game week, we do expect that. Broja's a nice backup player to have there as well. I think we've got enough cover, really, for at least our outfield players. I think we've got enough cover to survive this game week. Even if we have to go down to 10 players, it's really not the end of the world. I'd rather do that than start taking -4s and stuff like that. I feel like that it's time to be calm and, the reason why I've got so much money on my bench is to deal with situations exactly like this. So, Emil Smith-Rowe, Tomiyasu, unavailable, both of them. Tomiyasu, even if the game was going ahead, he has COVID at the moment anyway, so it's unlikely that he'd be ready for that game. So, yeah, overall, this was part of the strategy. I don't need free hits, really, because I don't need to take -4s either, because I've made sure that I had a very, very strong bench to try and counter the fact that so many games are getting called off for COVID. So I'm happy in many ways. I'm happy with this lineup, really. The only one thing that I would change, and I honestly could end up rolling the transfer, but I'll show you this because this is a kind of a transfer that I'm potentially going to do, and I'll let you know for sure on tomorrow's deadline stream. But this is a transfer I'm kind of thinking of doing, and that's removing Ramsdale and bringing in Hugo Lloris. And there's a few reasons for that, really. The first reason is, although it kind of feels a bit silly to remove Ramsdale when he's been the best goalkeeper of the season, and typically transfers on goalkeepers don't really gain you many points anyway, but Ramsdale misses this game. But over the next 8 game weeks, game week 20 included, so between game week 20 and game week 27, Ramsdale's actually got 3 blanks due to some other games that have been rescheduled. So we're actually going to see quite a few blanks from Ramsdale over the next 8 game weeks. And I kind of feel like a Lloris with 8 out of 8 games is going to outscore a Ramsdale with 5 out of 8 games. I feel like that puts a lot in Lloris's favour, particularly with, Antonio Conte has come in to shore up the Spurs defence. We've already seen that Spurs are starting to keep a few more clean sheets. Lloris is going to pick up those clean sheet points, obviously, isn't he? So that would be very, very nice indeed. But one more thing, the one more reason I quite like Lloris is because he is going to have some double game weeks very, very soon, which is phenomenal. I think there could genuinely be quite a few squeezed in the near future, particularly when the European football kicks off. There's going to be a lot of free midweek slots for Spurs because obviously Spurs have been booted out of the UEFA Conference League, right? So there's going to be free midweek slots, which means we could actually see some rescheduled Spurs games. And believe me, guys, you guys know Spurs have a lot of games that need to be rescheduled. I don't know if I haven't checked out exactly whether they could happen within the next 8 game weeks, but it really genuinely could be a situation. I mean, I think at least one, we'll have at least one, but we could see a situation where Ramsdale is blanking 3 out of 8 of the next 8 game weeks. And Lloris could actually be fitting in, maybe 10 fixtures within the next 8 game weeks. So Ramsdale's 10, 6 if you count the double as well. Although Ramsdale, I don't really like his double game week anyway, or his potential double game weeks coming up. They don't look like such good fixtures because the Arsenal fixtures that need to be rescheduled are actually not great games. From like Chelsea, Man City, I think. So, I don't think Arsenal have very good games to be rescheduled. So, Lloris, he could have far more fixtures to play over the next 8 game weeks than Ramsdale, and more games means more points, and those goalkeepers do pick you up those points, don't they, when they play in double game weeks, because they play every game. Goalkeepers, they don't get rotated or anything like that, typically. Anyway, so I think if I'm going to do a transfer, I either do no transfer and just hold on to Ramsdale for 1 week. His next game week is Man City as well. Spurs after that. I've got to think realistically how... Oh, my contact lens has just fallen out. Hang on, let me just cut this out. Okay, the contact lens is back in. I suppose we'll finish off this video. But yes, basically, Lloris could have plenty of fixtures. We're expecting more clean sheets. And, Ramsdale's fixtures, blank, then City, then Spurs. How many points is he realistically going to get over the next 8 game weeks? You know, we'll potentially be talking about wild carding after 8 game weeks anyway, and Ramsdale potentially comes back in there. So basically, guys, yeah, this looks like it actually could be a worthwhile goalkeeper transfer, which you don't say too often. Which you don't say too often, do you guys? So yeah, that's the potential there. In terms of captain, I'm kind of split for captains. I would like to captain Jota ideally, but I'm not convinced enough by his minutes. Let's put the captain's armband on Jota for now, because, you know, he's the player I'd most like to captain. I just need to work out, well, try and figure out how likely it is that Jota does start in this game. And then we'll give the vice-captain here to Son for now. You know, he's one of my premium players, isn't he? And yeah, Son, I am very convinced that he will start. But other considerations, Trent, Sterling is a bit too much of a risk. But yeah, Trent is probably the other player I'd maybe consider for captain. It's really out of Jota, Son and Trent for me personally, I think. Maybe Cancelo. Those are the kind of, yeah, I could say those are the 4 I'm looking at, really. But Jota for now, there we go. That's what my team could very well look like come deadline. But yeah, we'll have to find out. And I'll hopefully see you guys on deadline stream where we will confirm exactly what we are doing. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy what you saw today, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe if you are new around here. Like I said, there won't be any more videos for this game week, unfortunately. I've just, you know, tight, you know, schedules and birthdays and stuff. It's just, yeah, it's just not possible. But I will see you guys on the deadline stream tomorrow for sure. And we'll just kind of try and talk about everything that we haven't managed to talk about in the videos, basically, I think, and prepare for game week 20. Another exciting one, hopefully, guys. But yeah, aside from that, guys, enjoy the football this evening, or, you know, hopefully you've already enjoyed the football if you've already watched it. And yeah, see you at deadline stream. Fingers crossed. There we go, guys. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later, mates. Bye bye.